Tonight on the Bud Rebel show, I have a very, very special guest who decided to go shirtless. Trust me, the rest of his body is clothed. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Just make sure. This is still a family show.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, I have a very awesome guitarist. His name is Devante. He's from a band I called Across the Whitewater Tower. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
That's correct.
So, I'm going to be interviewing a lot of questions to you, really personal about your whole life and everything you ever known. No, that's not much fun. I wanted to get the idea. So, you're a guitarist of this group called Across the Whitewater Tower. Mm-hmm. That's correct? Okay. And how long have you been in the band for?
I joined the band, I think, right after college, so that must have been 2015?
2015, that's a few years.
2015.
You guys came out with a few albums. I think you came out with one recently now, too, right?
We're coming out with one right now. We've come out with, I think, 2 EPs since I've joined.
And you're trying to put a country sing to it, I heard.
Oh, yeah. At some point, man, that's the dream. That's the dream.
You have to convert some of the members, I think, of your band. I think the music generally is a little bit on the rock and roll side of the heavy genre. Would we conclude that?
Yeah, it's metalcore mixed with deathcore.
And a little country.
Oh, just a little bit. A little bit of jazz, because, a lot of music stems from jazz back in the day. But, I also try to infuse rap with a lot of it.
Like, since we're really getting rocking and rolling, we're going to have a little drink to taste this. You got a selection.
Yes, sir.
This one tastes really bad. This might be old, I don't know. Is it old or is it just me? I don't know.
No, it's not you.
It is old. Give another beer. Give them one and a new beer. We got one more. Anyway, so Devante, you have a very interesting story. You served, if I'm correct, in the armed forces.
Yes, sir.
In both armed forces, the Army and the Navy, you were.
I'm glad you remember that, Bruce.
And and what I heard is you didn't really serve that long in either one.
No, sir. Not at all.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story of the Army first?
Well, the Army, I joined recently, last year in 2020, during COVID, which was probably not my best.
Oh wait, Navy you joined first. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Navy I joined first.
Navy, that sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, what happened to the Navy though?
Everything was going good.
You're in the ROT, you're being trained in the Army.
I was being trained and going through basic training. But the issue with the Navy was I had a very big family emergency with my grandmother, who she passed, I think, 2019 or 2018. But before that, everything was going good. But within a few days of me being in basic training, not her passing, but her going into a lot of health issues, kind of messed up my mental a little bit for my determination, my motivation for going in, and that didn't really help my progress into the armed forces with the Navy.
So what happened exactly?
Basically, she ended up in the hospital, and due to that, there was a lot of family bills that had to be paid for. Mm-hmm. And my mom was trying to help, my dad was trying to help, and I was trying to help.
Sure.
But because my grandmother, which is my dad's grandma, my dad's mother, she was such a strong influence in my life that mentally kind of pulled me out of the military mindset and brought me back to my family mindset. And that caused a lot of internal issues within me that caused me to end up coming home.
So, I mean, what I'm impressed with you, Devante, is you're being really honest to people here about, going through a trauma. You loved your grandmother really close to, it really must be very hard. Mm-hmm. And here you were dedicated to the Navy, and you decided you can't do this, I guess. Mm-hmm. And you pulled out. Is there anything that you can just leave? Can you just leave? How do you just leave like this? How does that work? Can I join the Navy tomorrow and just leave the next day?
Honestly, well, I left. I shipped out. I didn't leave. I shipped out January 5th of 2015, and within maybe 78 hours, I was on my way out the door.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can but how does that happen? You just say I'm leaving?
I
You just walk out the door?
Right when you, with, at least to my knowledge, because even with the Army, when you get to the base that you're going to train at, they give you a phone call home to tell your loved ones that you made it there safely. You're going to call them on a certain date.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with me was I called my mom, she didn't pick up. I called my dad, he didn't pick up. I called my uncle, he picked up and told me what happened, that my grandmother was in the hospital. So that's what really killed it for me. I didn't get to talk to my mother, I didn't get to talk to my father, I had to call my uncle.
But I'm sorry, I don't mean to get too tactical, but how do you just walk off a base? How does that happen?
Oh, you honestly, I just my well, in the Navy they're called a petty officer instead of a drill sergeant. My petty officer realized I was the last person on the phones because at least 2016 they had pay phones. You can use your cell phone.
Right.
So everybody's off the pay phones and I'm still trying to call my family. So he's like, "What's going on? What's going on, sailor?" And I'm like, "I can't get in touch with my family." And then he's like, "All right, you get one more phone call." So I call my uncle. And he tells me that my grandma's in the hospital, she's going through a lot of health issues. And I guess the petty officer understood the kind of distraught feeling that I was in. So he was like, "Do you need a moment to collect yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Because I understand you just got here. And to find out that none of your family is responding, and then to find out that somebody important to you is in the hospital, do you need a moment?" And I was like, I do. And luckily, I was shouting him out to the dad guy, Petty Officer Rodriguez. He gave me that option. He was like, "If you need to take care of your family, let me know."
And so you got to go home. That's it. They just signed you up and you let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So if you join the Navy, you might, I'm sorry about this, but Army, you might, or Navy, you could actually use a little excuse to get out there because that's very interesting. Now, something crazy happened recently. Now, the other one is the Navy you joined. Now, we did Army. Sorry. Army you joined. Maybe a little bit shrinking. The Army you joined. You were ready to go. And I mean, how many years ago did you say, "I'm going to join the Army"? What was it now? Now you have how many years?
This was about 3 years I've been trying to join the Army after getting out of the Navy.
Okay, so you get all excited. You're going to join the Army. You're ready to go. And you join the Army. Now, you're ready to go. What happens next?
Funny story. COVID happens.
COVID happens as you're in the Army.
Within 48 hours of me being on base at Fort Leonard Wood, I catch COVID. And I can say this now because I'm not in the military anymore. I never told them, either the Navy or the Army, that I had asthma because my asthma was so, I guess, mild because my last attack, I was 2 years old, that there was no real evidence to say this guy has asthma. So I kept it at that. I didn't say anything. Turns out, if you have asthma and you catch COVID,
it's not a good thing.
It is terrible. So not only did I catch COVID, but I was in a coma for 2 days.
Whoa.
About 52 hours I was gone.
Wow.
Yep.
So what happens? You wake up, you know where the heck you are? I mean, this is crazy.
Not at all. I remember what had happened was I remember standing outside the barracks telling my drill sergeant I don't feel well. You know, I felt like what's his name? Tom Holland in Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers. When he's like, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good," and he just faded away. That's how I felt.
Wow.
I told my drill sergeant I'm not feeling so good, and I wake up about 2.5 days later in a military hospital.
It's just crazy. So now you're in the military hospital. They treat you for this COVID, I guess, right? What happened?
They I don't know what they did. All I know is I woke up and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No. I was having the best dream of my life. I was married to the woman of my dreams. I had my family. I had a great house, a great job, and then all of a sudden I wake up and I'm here in Missouri, short for misery."
Oh boy. So like, and the recovery from the COVID, how that happened?
It was rough because my body felt very weak, but I looked at that as that doesn't mean that I can't do what everybody else is doing. So when the drill sergeant would tell us, all right, we got to get up, run 2 miles, come back.
You did that with the COVID. You ran 2 miles with COVID.
I wouldn't allow myself to feel that I would let COVID beat my life.
But it did beat your dream in the Army.
Yeah, it did.
So
it beat my dream in the Army, but it didn't beat my drive to still say, you know what, I can still do that.
So what happened at the end with the Army?
What happened was because of me catching COVID and it being so severe, the doctors were looking at me the whole time I was basically knocked out, and they were like, oh, this guy has asthma. Well, let's check his records. He was in the Navy, so there's no way he has asthma. They found out I had asthma, and they found out I lied about it. On both 2 different branches, I lied about having asthma.
Don't tell them, please.
It's okay. I'm not going back. I'm about
maybe
to
the Marines.
I'm about to be 27. My knees don't work the way they used to. My ankles is shot.
So you went to 2 of the military forces with and the time frame, would you say like what, 2 weeks total with 2 of the armed forces, was it?
No, not even. With the Navy, I was there for exactly, minus the hours and the minutes, exactly 3 weeks. For the Army, I went, I think, August 12th. I didn't leave until October 14th.
Oh, so you were a little bit.
I know for a fact I went in the beginning of August. And I know the day I left was October 14th.
Wow. So you get full retirement benefits, right?
No. I wish. I wish.
Devante, you're going to play some music today, am I correct on that?
I was told so.
Yeah,
I was told so.
I think the audience needs to see the next great guitarist in this world. So I think we're going to do that. But before we do that, I don't know if you want to see, I created an invention. Yeah, I'm going to show the world.
Again, Bruce?
This was something I actually had a patent for.
Okay.
So I'm going to show the world a new video coming up very shortly. Stay tuned.
Check out for that.